You know, every time this show comes on TV, it seems like an hour-long TV movie that just keeps getting better and 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 better. Because this episode, and let me tell you something, I feel like Naomi and Chelsea are sweet and sour in the best way possible. And we saw Naomi sour. Let me tell you something. I'm here for Naomi sour. Let's get into this. Oh, it's time for the Beyond the Gates episode 22 after show, my Lord Jesus. So let's get it in and make it do what it do. Because, child, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about here. So, with that being said, we start off with Dani and Nicole talking about what happened at the country club, right? With Dani and Chelsea. And, like I said before, I think it was a heavy decision for Chelsea to leave modeling because, that's Dani's last connection to the world that she used to know. But I think also, too, she, in meaning Chelsea, did what she needed to do. And that pain that Dani was going through obviously was difficult because, my mom has always said, even when your kids are grown, you will never stop being a mom. You will never stop being a dad. So for Dani to experience that for the first time was quite difficult. And so, Dani said that she was a good faker of what happened. Nicole said that you are a good mom, and Nicole was asking, what's going on with this picture? And I love how they said someone broke it, but she couldn't say who. And, Dani said that her life was broken and jagged. And Nicole said, maybe let me help you put it back together. And so Haley says, what do you think you're doing? So now we're at Uptown. Naomi said, going to pay her tab and soak in a tub. Bill told you about the lawsuit, Naomi says. Of course, I'm his wife, says Haley. Aren't you tired bragging about that? Says Naomi. Haley is an employee at the firm and impacts both of us. Here. Child, Bill and Haley, when I say that they are a concubine and bastard of waste, I said what I meant and meant what I said. Because it is just, how dare you for you two to cause this much pain and then get on Naomi for making a decision that has nothing to do with either of you. Because that's what basically happens in this episode. You know what I mean? So it's quite sad. So let's see here. Haley got a promotion that was promised to one of Naomi's clients. And, Naomi says, given that you were sleeping with the head of the firm at the time, is more evidence that it's an inappropriate harassment filled work environment. Haley earned her promotion. That's what Haley said. Naomi sat on the back between the sheets with my dad. And Haley is gaslighting Naomi about the people at the firm and that, apparently they are collateral damage. And that she wants revenge on her dad. which honestly, this has nothing to do with revenge of her dad. This has to deal with right is right and wrong is wrong. These women were harassed by Mike Davis, and they got consequences because they spoke out and tried to defend themselves. And by the way, I just want to say to the writers, you guys did such a good job with this conversation, because there was a lot of edutainment in this episode in a very conversational way. I just want to give y'all credit. So then we see Smitty talking to the reporter, from the Washington Record. Smitty says, my husband is always watching out for me, but sometimes our wires get crossed. And Smitty also says that's very kind. So basically, Marin, not Marin, but the brother from the Washington Record, talks about the job, and Smitty is very excited. Now, remember, this was the guy that basically offered Smitty a job, but Marin turned it down for Smitty, and it was something to behold, because I'm just like, when are they going to get back to this? Because this is going to be pivotal, right? Because you guys know that Marin has been hiding the fact that he's been trying to run for president. So a reporter job at the Washington Record, my schedule just opened up. Of course, I'll have to talk to Marin, because we always make our family decisions together. And the brother says that, this choice gig, I want you, but there are a lot of candidates, so I need to put out an offer soon. And Marin says, I can explain. And Smitty says, I hope so, because I can't think of one reason why you would turn down a credible job offer on my behalf and not even bother to tell me. And you know why I said I'm with the white man with privilege right now? That's where I'm at. I'm with the white man with privilege, because for you to do this, right, to your husband, is quite flagrantly disrespectful. And I just did not get it. I just sincerely did not get why you would hurt your husband, knowing that he wants to go back to work and that you all had a family discussion on it. And I knew that was going to come back around, but I was so frustrated, because it's just like, and I think this is a real conversation happening around the country right now. What do you do as a parent in today's society in the year 2025? Because guess what? Now it takes two incomes to make a household run, not just one, right? So, like I said, there's a lot of quiet social commentary that they have weaving into the show that they want us to talk about. So, moving on. Kat is at mom's office and calls Ted to ask, is mom and dad free? Go to Uptown My Treat, and I'll see you at 8 p.m. Kat bugged her mom's office. And it's just like, Kat, I don't think you know what you're doing. Because I've been saying Eva seems like a really good person. She seemed at first, bad, bad in her judgment, in her execution, and the way that she carried herself. But I think as we have watched the show, we've come to recognize, right, that she really was poisoned by her mother's pain unnecessarily, because Leslie couldn't be adult enough and go to a therapist, an actual therapist, not trying to be somebody else, Sherry Carter, on top of a roof and trying to almost end her life to start to talk to a therapist, but actually taking time out and investing in herself. She decides to poison her daughter with her pain. And Eva sees that, wait a minute, you know what? Maybe this family isn't so bad. And maybe there's some things I don't know, but from what I am seeing, they are treating me with respect, and it's not right to destroy them just because you went through something horrible doesn't mean I have to have a horrible experience with them. So I feel for Eva. And we're going to get into it because it's a lot going on. So then Eva and Leslie was split a pint of ice. Eva and Leslie was split a pint of ice cream back in the day. So they're orphan genes. Leslie is trauma dumping on Eva. Leslie says, I never should have agreed to leave town. And, him keeping his dirty little secret. And Leslie's like, oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't mean it that way. It's just like, these are fictional characters, so I could care less. But some of these itches need to get slapped. They do. They need to be slapped because their mental faculties are showing that they have a decrepit energy. And Leslie and Haley are two itches that need to be slapped because their mental faculties are looking decrepit. Both of them. And I said what the uck I said. And I meant what the uck I said. To gaslight your daughter. Well, I'm sorry. Let me flip the words and wind it back. For Haley to gaslight Naomi with talking about this lawsuit that really has nothing to do with her, and the writers, they purposely dragged out this conversation between not Chelsea, but they dragged out this conversation between Naomi and Haley throughout this episode, so we can see the layers of depth of this conversation, because it talked about sexual harassment in a way on daytime TV that I don't think we've ever seen before. And then to trauma dump your daughter with your mistakes because you never handled yourself accordingly. Yeah, y'all both deserve to get slapped. And me saying y'all deserve to be slapped is being very kind to y'all. Okay? These are fictional characters. Okay? So, y'all have at it. And I honestly felt this is probably how my mom, my grandmas, my aunties, the seasoned women of my village, they were probably talking this way. Well, probably not talking like I'm talking, obviously, because they're from the old school generation. They always feel that there's a better way to say everything. But they probably felt a way about Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful and Guiding Light and As the World Turns, General Hospital, and One Life to Live in the Days of Our Lives. They probably felt the way about storylines like this. So listen. So, oh my Lord, Leslie felt so low and cheap, and she is getting out of the sunken place to expose him for the lying hypocrite he is. Leslie, you picked him, child. You picked him. You picked him. So then we're with Jacob and Malone at the police station. And Malone, got coffee for Jacob. 2 creams, 1 sugar. And Jacob is suspicious. In the words of Cardi B, that's suspicious. That's weird. Then went back with Marn and Smitty at Orphe Jeans. I did tell you about it because I did think it was the right job for you. Really? I think that would be up to your husband, Smitty, to be able to figure out if it's the right job for him or not. Smitty's like, so really, what? So basically, Smitty said, so because journalism jobs pay so little, I'll be insulted. It'll be more money than me being a stay-at-home dad. And Mars says, I handled it the wrong way. You think? I was afraid to lose you to the work the same way you hate losing me to politics. Bruh. I can't. Marn. Now, you seem like a decent guy, but you have a problem with control, sir. And Martin, you definitely deserve to be slapped for this, sir. You do. Because your faculties are looking decrepit and you're looking like a Mitch right now. I just, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Like, imagine, if you will, let's just say, because my audience now is 50-50 on YouTube, male and female. I'm very appreciative of that. And that's where you want to be as a YouTuber. You want the men and women coming to your channel. Nothing wrong with just men, nothing wrong with just women. But when you can have both sides of the coin, including the LGBTQIA plus community come to your channel, that's where you went, because you want everybody in your tent, not just one entity in your tent. But that's neither here nor there. So let's just say, for the ladies, imagine if your man turned down a dream job for you, right? But your man was still the head of household with his job, right? Imagine, men, that your wife turned down a dream job for you, but yet she can still have her job. For the ladies, imagine if your wife turned down a dream job for you, but yet she can still have her job. This is about right is right, wrong is wrong. How dare you still have your job, but yet you negate my desire? That's a real conversation that these two are having. Smitty says that's a crock. You don't think that what I do is as important as being a congressman. Martin does a stump speech about the press, and I put in my notes, as he is saying that and goes over Smitty, I see this thick waitress in the background. So I said in my notes, shout out to the thick waitress in the background. So the staff, crew, and team are like, listen, we got men watching. We gotta make sure they are satisfied with this show too. So that being said, Smitty says, be real with me. This is not the first secret you kept. You wanted to run, you were running for president, or wanted to think about running for president. You kept that secret from me. Me being the last to know is becoming a pattern, says Smitty. And my thing is this: if you can't tell your desires and thoughts and perspectives to your partner, then who else are you telling them to? Right? You should, and we talked about this on Temptation Island, right? Last night we talked about this during the season 9 episode 8 review. If you missed it, please go watch it. A very, very knees weak, arms heavy like spaghetti, to use the words of Eminem, after show review. I think it was probably one of the most deep, introspective, and palpable after shows I have ever done, because we talked about Breon and his childhood. And I said something that I don't think I've really, well, I mean, I've said this to my parents in so many words and to some friends, but I don't think I've ever articulated it like this. I said, it's hard to know how to move in life when you have models of who to be in life, but that model may not be working out for what you need to be for yourself during a period of time in your life. And, I'm so glad that I woke up this morning. And I also said this during the review. There are times where I'm like, God still has me here, but is there more for me here? In terms of, is there more to come? So I'm here in this space, but I don't know if there's more for me in this space called life. And that's why I feel like with Smitty, he's like, because he even says this, he talks about that later on. He talks about how he felt that after the kids, go to high school, that Smitty would get back in the South, but it just never happened. And it seems like that Martin is being Bill, quite frankly. Maybe not being Bill in the way that Bill was, cheating on Smitty with a younger man, because that would be fraternizing in government. He and Mark would be a Bill Clinton. In the same token, Bill asked Dani to quit modeling. And Martin asked Smitty to give up journalism. And so now, Smitty has never gone back on the beat. So I say that Martin was Bill in the fact of, you're not allowing your husband to be your husband, and your husband is feeling that his purpose is being erased. You're erasing him as a person. And that's what Bill did with Dani. When she gave up modeling, Bill was erasing Dani. Oof. Man, that was a deep connection, wasn't it? Yes, indeed it was. So, Martin was being selfish both times and was afraid of a no. I will never do that again. He's sorry. And Smitty says, a sorry is not what I'm looking for. And then, after Martin apologizes, Smitty says that covers the future, but what about right now? Are there any other secrets that you're hiding from me or keeping from me? Then we're back at the police station with Jacob and Malone. Malone was hazing Jacob. Man, we had a bit of a rough start, but you're due to the robbery and homicide unit. Malone used to just be like Jacob. And then we're with Eva. Actually, before that, here's the thing. Jacob feels that Malone is being suspicious because Malone had a hard exterior, or does have a hard exterior. And so when, somebody's switching up their attitude from disdain to appreciation that quick on a dime, it's something the Kool-Aid ain't sweet, or something is not sweet in coffee in this situation. And so I agree with Jacob, because Elon did talk to Malone about respecting his son. But also, too, I feel in the same token, sometimes people have their walls up because the character that they have behind the wall is who they really are, but they don't want the world to damage their character. Now, I don't know if that's really Malone, because it seemed like Malone was really who he was, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So then Eva and Leslie still at Orphe Jeans. You're the most devoted mom anyone could ask for. It's you and me against the world, baby. Always has been, always will be. And, they talk about Alan. And Leslie says he was a poor excuse of a poor excuse of a stepfather that he was. You picked him, okay? After you almost ended your life on a roof utilizing a fake name and poisoning your daughter with your trauma, you can't say shit about Alan. Because like I said before, I think that Leslie did something to Alan. I really do. I said what I meant what I said. And if this comes out on the show, y'all remember that this channel and this person called it. Because for you to do what you did to Laura and almost do attempted murder on her life, yeah, your ass is crazy. And I really do believe if you would do that to an innocent person, you would just imagine you doing something to someone in your orbit. Yeah, I think Leslie did something to Alan. That's what I believe. Y'all can find out in the live chat in the comment section below. So, Eva said that he tried. Leslie said, my patience. Where is your patience? Where is your patience? Where is it? Where is your patience? Where is it? Where is your patience? Where is it? Shout out to Naomi Leaks, by the way. So, Leslie shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Wow, you want to have some respect for the dead, but you can't have respect for the living of your daughter and not poisoning her with your trauma? Woo, okay. Eva said that he tried, and Eva's been rethinking the plan. Eva and Leslie are both each other's top priority. Eva thinks that we should tell Ted in private that she is his daughter. And Leslie's like, why would I do that? And Eva, the smartest one out of the two, I'm saying it might feel good in the short term, but will work out in the long term. Leslie says he stumped her hard, got me pregnant with Eva, and left me for his wife. Child, men have the right not to choose you, just like women have the right not to choose. Let me flip the words for a while. Men have the right not to choose who they don't want in their life, just like women have the right not to choose who they don't want in their life. Stop it. You got rejected. It happens to everybody. Everybody who gets rejected eventually gets accepted in life. But the problem is because you can't move on from this rejection, you are never getting accepted for anything else that could be for your life. Your ass is fucking broken. You're talking more about Ted than what's going on with you. What did I say last night? If you got to talk about somebody else, you ain't got nothing going on for you. Right? And it seems like to me, any environment that Leslie's not in control of, she will destroy it just to have control. So Leslie would be willing to blow up Ted's life and then go back into the shadows and be the piece of shit bitch that she is and not produce anything of substance because she has no substance. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that offend your sensibilities? Did I step too far? Oh, my Lord Jesus. Is somebody going to, oh, my Lord, lose it? Because, oh, my God, guess what? That's the truth that probably has been told to them many times before. They don't have the capacity, capability, comprehension, and brain cells to deal with it. I could give two fucks. What Leslie is doing is she's being a Tasha St. Patrick and saying, try me, nigga. And she's going to get snatched up. And she's not going to make it. Like I say, y'all can find out in the live chat comments below. So Eva says, would exposing him in public hurt us in our plans, financially speaking? Public shame will force him to give you your birthright. And Eva's not sure about that. So then Eva gets an email from Nicole, but really it's Kat. She doesn't know it. And so, Eva is an assistant. She tells this to Leslie. Leslie's like, she should not have you working outside hours. I'm like, Leslie, what is your life, child? Do you have a job at all? Because you sounded like Tommy. You ain't got no job, Leslie. But at least Tommy was respected. Damn. Because I'm just like, your daughter has a job, but you don't. Okay, child. I can only imagine the heck she was on Broadway. But it was probably off Broadway. No, actually off Broadway. Actually, she never made it to Broadway. Moving on. So, actually, Eva says that, they're actually heading to Uptown. Because Leslie thinks that, Ted and Nicole are, being bougie by, wanting quality time with each other, which, like, that's what, whether you are wealthy or whether you're poor, you want quality time with your partner. So, like, once again, Leslie, you my Lord Jesus. So, to make the plan work, Eva has to do her job. And, Leslie agrees, but Leslie wants Eva to agree that it's right to blow up at their anniversary party. Child, the way that Eva saved Nicole's event, and Kat doesn't even know it. But I got a feeling that Ted is always ahead of everything. And by the way, to the Beyond the Gate staff, crew, and team, I think that, Maurice Johnson should stay on to the end of the storyline, right? Because if you guys don't know, Keith D. Richardson will be the new Ted Johnson. I don't like the recasting. I don't. But hopefully everything's okay. But I do think that this recasting is stupid because we're so used to Maurice Johnson. I think he's done a brilliant job. I really do. I think that he has done a brilliant job in being a strong father with soul. And he's showcasing that, there are Black men that are outstanding, that are upright, and they are about their business. So we read an article from Deadline.com saying that, he needed to be recast. I'm just like, yo, this is the first 1 hour Black soap opera with a all Black cast, predominantly all Black cast. Like, can we just be happy that this is on TV? Like, please, like we are the cause of our own rise and demise. And it's like what Issa Rae said. I'm rooting for everybody Black. Not everybody who is Black deserves to be rooted for. I said what the fuck I said. Because some of y'all on YouTube are supporting toxicity, strife, and chaos. But yet you would never allow that out of your family and friends. Some of y'all got the Black Dastardly, Black Proxy, and Black imagination to support negativity and feel like you're about positivity. Child, get the fuck out of my face. Moving on. Just moving on. So we're back with Haley and Naomi. Oh, by the way, last thing. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Moving on. So we're back with Haley and Naomi at Uptown. Haley says, we were best friends. And I thought I knew you. Naomi says, I thought I knew you. That's rich. I thought I knew you. And Haley says they are disgruntled employees looking for a payout. Naomi says she is not for women and not supporting women. Don't you care that they were harassed? Naomi says by Mike. Haley says, I've never had a problem with Mike. And here's the thing, Haley, that you are forgetting, you concubine of waste. You trick, you heifer, you bitch. You see you next Tuesday. Just because you didn't get harassed by Mike doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay? Sexual harassment in the workplace during the Me Too movement, we have heard stories about women's experiences that other women have not experienced. Thank God you did experience it, but that doesn't give you the right to negate these women's experience just because you're sucking off the boss because you have no valuable skills. Good damn, bitch. Okay. Just had to get that out because I'm just like, the gaslighting that Haley is doing is beyond disgusting, despicable, and the pale. It's the victim mentality for me that you would backstab your best friend and her daughter and your daughter's mom without you recognizing how they embraced you because you say that your mom left you when she got pregnant. I always have said this, just because, you know, when everything that someone has may mean nothing to the world, but when somebody gives you a piece of their everything, that should become something to you. Obviously, you have gotten so high on the hill, you forgot how low it was to look up at the hill, Haley. I said what the fuck I said. To that point, Naomi says that was because you were sleeping with the boss. It's not about your experience, it's theirs. And like I said, Haley is gaslighting again. Your anger at Bill is clouding your judgment. Naomi says you're psychoanalyzing me now. Haley says I know you better than you want to admit. Bill and her have a great life, but the only regret is that you're not in it. You're the sister I never had. Child! Oh, Lord Jesus. I said my notes a little bit late. I said, Naomi, slap this bitch, please. I know Uptown is a very nice, very cutesy, very mindful, very demure establishment. I'm sure they got 5-star ratings on Yelp. I'm sure that they are in a better state than Black in Huntsville, Alabama, the Cigar Lounge. But still, hey, dude. Haley deserves to be handled disrespectfully because, like I said, if Naomi was a sister to you, you would have respected the space of being in their circle. And for you saying the only regret is that you're not in it, but yet you're given all this hostility, congratulations, in the words of DJ Khaled, you're playing yourself. We weren't sisters. Naomi says, I have a sister, Chelsea, and now she's suffering because you broke her parents' marriage up. Haley says, you can't say our friendship wasn't real. Naomi says, it was an illusion that you created to get next to my dad. Haley said, it wasn't premeditated. I fell in love, and that's where I put in my notes. Naomi slapped this bitch. Naomi makes fun of Haley of, oh my God, I fell in love, and it was me and Bill sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G, S-W-I-N-G-I-N-G, swinging I-N-G, him pulling my hair and him getting in from the back, B-A-C-K. Child, In some ways, I'm more angry with you than my dad. He betrayed my mom, but you betrayed me. We're back with Dani and Nicole. What life would have been like if Dani did not meet Bill. Nicole says you need to move on from Bill. He's the root of all of this. And Dani says if he was so charming, handsome, charismatic. Child, just because you put lipstick on pig doesn't mean it's still not a pig. And, you know, Dani says one kiss from him and I was addicted. And Nicole says that, you know, Dani is an addict. And Dani says it was a form of expression. And Nicole says that there's plenty of scholarly articles about addiction, and specifically love addiction. It's called codependence. And remember how I told y'all that this episode had edutainment in a way that was so smooth? This is what I meant by it. And so Nicole says, there are hallmarks of codependence, like with, hard spells of withdrawal, tolerance for abuse, loss of control, and neglecting every other part of your life that is important. Nicole then asked, what was the last dream you had that made you happy? And please don't say with Bill. I love the fact that Nicole, while she was giving the symptoms, she was also giving solutions to Dani. While she was giving the symptoms to Dani, she was also giving solutions to Dani. While she was giving symptoms to Dani, she was also giving solutions to Dani. And Bill's and Dani said the last dream that made me happy was Bill. He was going to leave the DA's office to start his law firm. I would stop Marlon and help him leverage, that Dani would leverage her contacts to help the firm off the ground and running, and promise to be the perfect wife and mother. And you know what I noticed in everything that Dani said? She said everything that she was supposed to do for him, but she never said what he was going to do for her. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Dani said everything that she was going to do for him, but never said what Bill was going to do for her. Dani said everything that she was going to do for him, but never said what Bill was going to do for Dani. I'm like, what? The layers and layers of the quiet part not being said out loud energy that's in this show. I'm like, my Lord Jesus. So Nicole says, didn't it occur to you to say no? And Dani was like, no, because I was all in with the full picture rather. Nicole says that Bill dragged you down until you were not the person he used to be in love with and dropped you for a newer model. That's love. And Nicole says, go dating. And, Dan's like, get a vacay, babe. I get my needs met. Gee, Dani, I wonder how you get your needs met. And Nicole doesn't know how you get your needs met, but we do. So Kat sees Haley and Naomi, and Kat is looking at her phone because I don't know if I told you this, but Kat bugged her mom's office. So there's a camera in Nicole's office. Mm-hmm. So there's this woman named Anna, very Swedish. And it's Leslie. Child. And this is my thing, right? For Leslie to not be able to stand, for Leslie not being able to stand Kat and Ted and Nicole, why are you making different characters up just to get next to them if you can't stand them? I just, okay. All right. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord Jesus. Now, I'm not saying, right, that Ted needs to hire a female bodyguard to whoop Leslie's ass, but I'm also not saying that Ted doesn't need to make that call. I'm just keeping it a book. Because let me tell you something. Leslie is going to get herself caught up, and at least if she gets her ass beat by, a female in a roll-up, at least it will stop the bullshit, at least for a length of time, because she will have to be at the hospital. And listen, I'm sure that Dr. Ted Richardson knows people and can put her at a hospital far away from all this. She ain't got to be in Crayland Hospital, but Leslie needs to be in a coma for a long time, right? So that way she can be still, because she's given everybody a mental coma that is just difficult to navigate through. So Anna talks about Eva Thomas. Eva's at Nicole's place holding a candle holder. Ted is like, hey, what's going on? Anna says, I'm not sure why you want, Nicole's cat says, I'm not sure why you want to talk to me. And Anna says, I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to talk to me. And Cat doesn't want to talk about an employee to a stranger. Anna wants to be a peacemaker. So you mean to tell me that a character of yours wants to be a peacemaker more than you, the person, wants to be a peacemaker? Wow, that's sad. Very sad. Eva and Ted talk, and that, Ted says that, Kat is overworked and she's overprotective of our family because Eva's, giving her perspective of, what's going on with, Eva and the nucleus of working with Nicole, Ted, and and being in their orbit. Jacob and Malone talk, and Malone says, don't be me, be better. But it was in so many words of, I used to be just like you, this, that, the third. Marin and Smitty, we're back with them at All Free Jeans. No secrets from Marin. Smitty thinks it was not cool with what he did. You understand media in general, but you don't understand what it means to me. And Smitty thought it was going to be temporary, that he was going to be a stay-at-home dad, and he was going to get back in the saddle. And Martin says, you provide, Martin's like, time and space and everything in between, so many words. But Smitty says, I put the time in to be a better parent. And Martin's worried about the stability. If you were worried about the stability, you would care about what your husband has to say. And you reneging on the fact of Smitty was able to at least do one article. Guess what? At this point, Smitty has the right to do whatever he wants to behind your back at this point because you wasn't honest with him. He should be honest with you. Now, y'all can say it's tit for tat, but it is what it is. And Martin says, it's got to be about family first and protecting the kids. And then we're with Kat and Anna back in Uptown. Kat says, Eva's job is to assist my mom not being my bestie. Anna is doing the most. Anna is saying to help Eva if you don't like how she's working. Kat says Eva's the problem, not me, and she's looking down at her phone. I don't know if Anna caught a glimpse of that phone or not, but that's what it looked like to me. Eva is talking with Ted and says, Kat's having a hard time getting me because I didn't grow up in a house like this. And Ted says, that doesn't mean you're less than. That means you're self-made, you're resourceful and driven. And Eva and Ted are friends. And Ted says, you know what? I will bring this up to Kat. And he was like, I don't want you to bring up because then she'll think that I am pitting her dad against her. And that's the last thing she wants. Eva, you got to recognize it's okay to ask for help. Because I thought of you at first as a trifling, toxic hindrance. But you are actually a very valuable and nurturing resource. You've just been poisoned by your mother's trauma. So I'm rooting for you, Eva. I am. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. And not to mention, too, I can only imagine how, we only know Mona and Ashley's mom as Leslie's friends. But I would like to dig into Leslie's life a little bit more because I believe she is not just as toxic to Ted. I'm sure that her family members also have experienced Leslie's toxicity, but that's neither here nor there. So, with that being said, Eva and Ted are friends and that the comment's going to stay between them. Then we're back with Dani and Nicole at Dani's place. They are talking about, possibility of Dani, getting out there, dating. And Nicole says, date yourself. Do what makes you happy. Your kids are grown. You don't owe anyone anything. Do, Dani, make your own roadmap. Dani doesn't know anything else because you don't want to get to know anything else. Then we're back with Haley and Naomi at Uptown. Haley says, our friendship was real. I couldn't help but fall in love with Bill. And Naomi says, like, you had no choice. I've known you for a long time. What about do the right thing? You could have kept your drawers on. And I'm like, oh, Naomi. Remember at the top of this after show, I said, I like Naomi sour. That was her sour child. I was like, you could have kept your drawers on. You could have kept your drawers on. This was so damn good. And Bill, you better not do shit to Naomi. Because guess what? Like she said, if you don't like your reception, you can leave. You can walk away. You don't have to take in a reception that you don't want. You did what the fuck you did. She got the right to behave in the fucking way that she wants to. Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna be a full hour, y'all. I'm trying to keep it. I've always tried to keep these episodes under 30 minutes, but this needed to be a full hour, child, because it gave that energy. Haley says, you sure do love passing judgment. I'm a homewrecker. I mean, listen, it's not Naomi's fault that you did what you did, right? And you called yourself a homewrecker, right? So why are you getting upset at something that you are? As I often say, you shouldn't talk about yourself that way, but if you believe that about yourself, it must be. As a man thinketh, so is he. Mm-hmm. And Haley says, Bill subverts the law to get his clients off the hook. Yeah, with favors and stuff. No surprise, Haley. Lord Jesus. Then Haley says, you're playing the law fast and loose with this loss, with the law bringing this frivolous lawsuit so you can pursue your vendetta against your dad for the crime of falling in love with me. This has nothing to do with you. This is about sexual harassment and a hostile work environment. You know what? Bill and Haley deserve each other. They are both selfish, narcissistic, and waste of shit that, quite frankly, if Bill ends up in a situation where he gets caught up and Haley ends up in a situation where she gets caught up, I'm not wishing bad, but I'm not wishing anything good either. And I will be right there with my Uncle Nathan Nearest Green whiskey, enjoying it all falling down. Oh, when it all falls down, I'm telling you, when it all falls down. Oh, Lord Jesus. Hey, Naomi says, I'm just me and my dad where he is in the sewer with you. Our suit is not frivolous. Haley says, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Child, you are such a toxic St. Patrick. I feel like if she was in that situation, you guys remember when Tariq was in the bedroom and Ghost, put a pal to Tariq's head and said, get up, little nigga. Tommy in the penthouse, why? And when Ghost said, and when Tariq said, you want to unalive me, I'm your son. And then Ghost grabbed Tariq's face and said, you know the reason why you're not, the reason why Kanan powed his son? Because he became an enemy. You let Tommy in the house, you are now my enemy. If you wasn't my son, you would be dead. Don't think you're ahead of me. Don't ever think you're ahead of me. Don't make that mistake again. If Haley was in that situation, she would fold so hard. She is a Tasha St. Patrick that can't ever be a Ghost St. Patrick. Child, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. You think you somebody's special trick? Moving on. There are better hoes at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot, child. Listen, sexual harassment and discrimination is something. It is illegal. I put in my notes, Haley being a hoe for the Bill Hamilton law firm. Since you want to do this, we will sue. When we win, we will sue you for attorney's fees, and we'll bankrupt your little firm and put you dead out of business. You know, for you saying that the only regret is that, you know, Naomi's not in your life and that the friendship was real, you really, and the fact that you said that the only regret is that Naomi's not in your life and that friendship was real, that you didn't mean to hurt her, you really are showing your ass right now. Child, you are still a paralegal at your husband's law firm because you ain't got no other skill set. I mean, we've never seen you work, actually. So, I mean, honestly, you the office hoe for your husband. Anyway, moving on, child. Anna and Eva talk about Eva's problems, and Kat says, you know, Eva's always has her hands in other things that are not her business. And as Ted is coming in, Ted sees Leslie. Elon and Jacob talk at the police station, and you know, Jacob's like, you talk to Malone, and Elon's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And in so many words, Elon says, don't fight this one, leave it alone, I'll sign a new partner. Smitty, we're back with Smitty and Mara at Ophi Jean. Smitty loves holding truth to power. And Smitty, and I remember saying this, it would be good for Smitty to work at wherever he was going to be, but now we know it's going to be at the Washington Record. What if you get covered as you're running for president? And Smitty says that, what if the editor assigns me to cover you running for president? And Martin says that would never happen. That's a conflict of interest. And Martin said, you might be doing restaurant reviews. And Martin says, God help me. Smitty says, God help me, unless it's Ophi Jeans. And Martin says, you know all about my past. Martin, you keep having dreams that you don't want to talk about, sir. We still don't know that poisonous secret that happened, because I do remember Bill said, I don't want to be responsible for overkill at the commingling happy hour before the wedding. We remember that. And also too, Vernon and Anita went to the wedding to protect Martin from a night that Vernon and Anita have not talked about. So we still don't know. So whatever this is, Smitty doesn't know that. Or at least that's what it seems like on the surface. Nicole is with Dani. Nicole says it is possible to get back out there. And, Dani's like, oh my God, why are you being my therapist? And Nicole says, let's just have fun with this. Let me be your therapist. And, Nicole wants to do it for a role play. So I remember this from Marriage Boot Camp. So basically what it is that whoever you are upset at, that person personifies themselves as playing that, and you get to utilize them as a vehicle to finally let go of something. Okay, so it's a therapy exercise. So Nicole and Dan on a date, and Nicole plays a man. By the way, can I just say, Miss Duplex looked gorgeous this episode. I just wanted to say that she was popping. Do you hear me? Just wanted to say that. So, Nicole has this deep voice, and it's like, "Hey, you're Dani Dupree, my online date." And Dani always wanted a brother, and Nicole would say, "Your brother would pop up and say that you're on your own." Dani's like, exactly, he will let me wallow in peace. So like I said, Nicole's a guy. Hey, you're Dani Dupree. You're my date. What are you drinking? And then Dani says vodka and sadness and pretends to throw the drink. And Nicole, I laughed my ass off. It was so funny. And Nicole says, I see we have a lot of work to do. And then Nicole, ask a very important question to Dani. Do you want Bill back, or do you want him because you can't have him? And Dani says, I want him back. And Nicole is like, you really want him back after everything he done for you? And Dani says, when I think about it, I don't think of the bad times. And Nicole said it right, selective amnesia. Nicole and Dani have a moment over Dani's pain because, Dani says that Bill is all I know. I don't think I'll ever move on. Nicole said it's really sad to hear that. And Dani says it's even sadder. So they hug. Naomi checks Haley. Do you think I'm threatened by your empty threats? And sexual harassment in the workplace is illegal. The appropriate remedy to a civil offense is a lawsuit. My clients have every right to take Mike Davis, their harasser, to court, along with the law from their employees, and we will win. And then, Haley talks about, intelligence in so many words. And Naomi says, you don't want to compare IQs. And the reason why that kind of ticked me off, because I'm like, when Haley was listening to Naomi, she was fuming, man. I'm like, oh, my Lord. So your mouth works, but your brain doesn't work. Got it. Your pussy works, but your brain doesn't work. Got it. Your looks work, but your brain doesn't work. Got it. Because it seemed like Haley did not know the law at all. But yeah, you're going to say 10 toes down and you're going to testify. But, if we remember the conversation that Haley and Bill had, that, Bill said, I don't know if they want to know that the office leech did, mess around with the partner's girlfriend, now wife. Bill said office leech. Mike, if you don't know Haley, also said that there are women on this earth that will tempt a man's resolve, like the new Mrs. Hamilton. So you don't know that Bill was almost going to put Mike through the window put Mike through the other side of that window and dangle him, and he might lose his grip. You don't know all this, but yet you're defending. Oh, my Lord Jesus. And Tomas, I hope you bring up that conversation in the trial, brother. Okay. So Haley had the conversation out of respect for the friendship that they had. My Lord Jesus. Haley will stand by Bill, and if this is what you want to do, the gloves are coming off, and we will take you down. Naomi says, bring it on. And Haley looked like she was so defeated. And I'm glad. And you know what? I've always said that success is a bigger cuss out than you cussing them out. But I wish Naomi would have slapped that bitch, though. I really wish she would have. Then we see Samantha. She's at home. Mara and Smitty come home, and Samantha doesn't want to talk to them. And, where's Terrell? Terrell has went to bed. And, Mara and Smitty feels that something just ain't right. They want to go upstairs, and Tyrell has a scar on his face. Eva is crying over her mom and the childhood that she went through because she sees a picture of Nicole and Ted, and then it transitions to Leslie and Ted, and then Ted and Leslie talk, and Ted says, so now you're going after my daughter. Now, I wish, Ted would have, of course, we'll see the end of that conversation probably in today's episode. But I wish that Ted was like, you know what? You don't listen. I got you. And just walked away, let some days pass. And Leslie is in the middle of the night, and she gets kidnapped. And she gets handled as the fucking bitch she deserves to be handled as. Y'all, that is your Beyond the Gates episode 22 after show. Child, I told you this was going to be a full-fledged hour. Because this episode needed it. This had so much to it. Y'all, I gave y'all a 4-hour show. And the show is a 4 hour. Like I said, Dani, holding on to your history is holding you back from the destiny that you deserve. Eva, I am pulling for you, and you might just have to tell Ted and Nicole what is going on, because if you don't, your mom is going to do so much that you might not have a place to fall. Because what's going to end up happening is that I think Eva's 18, right? But Leslie's gonna go to jail for what she did, or she's gonna get a punishment, a severe punishment, right? So how does that leave Eva? Does she own the place that her mom has? I think if you did it, Eva, I'm sure Ted and Nicole, while it may be hard for them, I'm sure Ted would do the right thing because he seems like a stand-up man, and he would make sure you would have a place that they would get you set up and everything. And Kat, you would need to fucking apologize, because I still like you, but you doing 20 on 10, and Eva is protecting your mom and dad in ways that you don't even know about, because the person you talk to is the person that can't stand your ass. So that's my take on Kat and Anna's conversation. Leslie, my Lord Jesus, just Lord. So then after that, Smitty and Martin, Smitty, go apply for the Washington Record. I hope you get it. And I hope that Martin has to deal with the fact that he tried to stop your bag, and now he's got to deal with that mental health that he caused. And I'm so glad that the staff, the crew, the team, the writers, and Lati Dati and everybody in the words T-Talk with your girl, like how much described that beautiful sister she's doing Beyond the Gates reviews as well. That you guys looped back around to that, because I knew that was going to be a pivotal point in time, right? And Naomi and Haley. Naomi, I'm with you. Haley, fuck you, Trick. That's all I got. That's all I got for those two, because it's just Haley is defending sexual harassment and a toxic work environment. That says everything I need to know. And these are fictional characters, okay? But also, too, how many times have you guys heard about sexual harassment and a toxic work environment happening where you work, or to somebody that you know that has been in that circumstance or is in that circumstance? I think I talked about Nicole and Dani. So proud of Nicole, because she gave therapy with soul. And when Nicole was going through those symptoms of codependence, those are real symptoms. And there are people who have a codependence to alcohol, to sex, to drugs, to love. And I love how edutainment came into play with this episode, and also too with Naomi and sexual harassment and toxic workplace environment. I loved how they utilize edutainment, so I hope that they keep doing that. Y'all, I think that's everything. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Y'all, if you're in the live chat, let me know how you have enjoyed this. And also, too, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this review. I know you'll have thoughts. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love. There we go. Okay, child. There we go. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.